Matthew Teller is a travel journalist who previously lived and worked in Egypt and joins us now from Oxford. Matthew, thank you for being on the programme. Obviously, this is an awful tragedy today, and it does damage, doesn't it, to an industry already struggling?
This is true. I mean, at the moment, our hearts must go out first and foremost to the bereaved families. This is an absolute disaster. And somehow it's even compounded by the fact that these poor people were on holiday, in some cases travelling from Hong Kong to Egypt, halfway around the world. And somehow it's a disaster at any time, but it's particularly appalling to happen at a time when people are trying to have a good time on a leisure holiday. In addition, of course, our hearts must go out to the poor people in Egyptian tourism as well. I was looking at some tweets earlier today from people involved in tourism, also in Luxor as well. And people were expressing first utter dismay at the tragedy itself, but also despair at what else could possibly hit their industry after 2 years of instability during the ongoing uprising.
And Matthew, I know you've looked at the cold, hard facts of bookings in hotels, and in Luxor, especially in the south of the country, they have dropped a lot because of the instability of the last 2 years.
Absolutely so, yes. I mean, there's been a certain amount of insulation from the instability elsewhere in Egypt. The tourist resorts on the Red Sea, Sharm el-Sheikh, and to the east of the country are running, I looked at some figures recently, are running at something between half and 2/3 of what they once were. In Cairo, the figures are way down, and in Luxor, in Upper Egypt, in the south, where almost everybody is reliant on tourism. Tourism is a major plank of the economy there. I was seeing hotel occupancy rates are down at 5%.
And just explain to me, Matthew, your theory. I know you've written that there's an irony. Tourism does very well under dictatorships. What did you mean?
That's true, yes, I believe that. Under dictatorships and autocracies of different kinds, there are examples across the world, from China and Cuba to the UAE. In Egypt in particular, under Mubarak, in the 10 years prior to Mubarak's ouster, tourism did very, very well indeed. Figures were up year on year between 2000 and 2010-11. Tourism numbers more than doubled, and even more, tourism income also more than doubled. In 2010 and 2011, Egypt was taking in something around $12–13 billion. But at the time,
because I suppose the global travel industry likes to know what it's getting, and an incident such as the tragedy today adds to the uncertainty which it hates.
That's absolutely true. But my sense is, particularly in Egypt as well, and across the Middle East, the instability is going to remain. This is not a one-off event. The Arab Spring, in that sense, is a misnomer. This is a process of change, of deep social and political change. Egypt has changed forever over the last 2 years. It's not going to go back to the way that things were in 2010. So in that sense, the global travel industry, I would like to hope, would be looking to create a new path, along with the Egyptian people themselves, who are trying to create a new political and social path for themselves.
Matthew Teller in Oxford, thank you very much.
Thank you.